So Maria is the first person to have completed my deep dive into human design, and she's kindly agreed to come on and talk and share her experience so that you can all see what it was all about. So hi Maria, thank you for coming. My first question was, when I put the post out, you jumped on and you dived in straight away. So when I said I was going to do this experience, so I was just wondering what made you sign up in the first place?
Thank you, Katie. It was the right time. That's a bit maybe not very helpful, but it was perfect. And I've dabbled in human design and gene keys maybe 10 years ago. But at the time it didn't make sense. And now with everything that's been going on in my life, when your post showed up, and I know you from networking and as a business coach, and then when you started to weave in human design, I was like, oh, that's interesting. And because I previously just looked at human design from a personal perspective, now I was very interested to focus on the business and career side of things. And so it was a no-brainer offer. And that I thought, oh my God, if I can layer in and just focus on business, then and layer piece after piece so that I can get additional clarity in my business, that's invaluable.
So you did dive in, and was it what you expected?
Yes, and how should I phrase it? Yes, because yes, it was. I got so much more from it. That's what I want to say. So the way, because it can be, a gazillion million rabbit holes, because there is so much information. So what you do brilliantly is you bring the nuggets and the essence in a very clear and grounded, structured way. So I got, you held my hand beautifully throughout, and the way that you layered things helped me grow as a person. So while going through the process, and I've done lots of personal development in the last 20 something years, and so, but this had a refinement to it that was quite interesting. And so some days I want to dive really deep into it, and then I hold myself back because I know that there is so much information that I've at this point I'm just gathering the layers that you presented to me, and having said that, they are very deep in and of themselves. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how I perceive
it does indeed. It is a rabbit hole. You can go right in, and that is some of the challenge with helping people to understand their human design and to dive in, because it's like, well, which bit do I tell you first?
But that's what you do so brilliantly, because you know from experience also what to bring in and when, and that's what I love about this process.
Oh, thank you. So what is your biggest takeaway been, would you say, if you have one, or do you have many? Or
it's I have many, and at the same time it's still evolving, as in, because I know we've talked about how my mind works. I want to systematize everything, and so I've sort of done summaries on the side, trying to see how I can easily get the gist and the summary and the picture and the story of all the information in my chart, in addition to what you already have given me. And so I can totally relate. The way that you described everything, I totally relate. I can see myself clearly. And I was like, oh my God, I already actually do that. And I didn't know that it was a natural part of who I am, if you see what I mean. So huge insights and a lot of helpful reaffirmment. Is that an English word?
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, it's reaffirmed, things that I have been aware of, but I wasn't sure that they were actually part of my core, the core of my human design, if that makes sense.
That's been part of my experience through my journey. Is often it's kind of told me things I already knew, but by it telling me things I already knew, like say, it affirmed it, and I could stop questioning things. I could stop wondering. I could stop thinking, is this the right way? Should I be doing this or should I be doing that? It's like, well, it says it here, so yeah, great.
And one of the what I didn't say earlier on, but one reason why I signed up was I'm sick and tired of following other people's, ways of doing things. And it's not that they don't hold merit, because obviously systems work and processes work, and it works wonderfully for many people. But I want to follow what comes naturally to me. That was the biggest, the biggest reason, I suppose, to make sure that I know what that is. And I can then, show up in a way that comes natural.
I think that, yeah, that's how a lot of people might be feeling at the moment. There is a lot of noise out there, and everything that is shared is always shared from somebody's own personal perspective. So it's almost like what has worked for them, but we are all different. So if we're trying to follow somebody else's path, it can grate a little bit, and it can feel a little bit, it doesn't feel quite right, does it? So when you lean into your design, you can actually start to uncover, okay, well, this is the thing that feels, yes, this feels right. And you can start to have your own path, and you still listen to everything else, but you can, I suppose it's giving you the confidence, doesn't it, to shut out the noise.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
So what would you say to anyone who is watching this, thinking of signing up?
What would I say? I would say that if you are curious about, wanting to know what what is truly you in the core, and sort of follow that, and not to avoid all the noise, or create a strong foundation for your business and for yourself, then this is a brilliant, I'm going to use the word introduction. You give so much more, so it's not just an introduction. But what I mean is, if we're thinking about your help to distill everything that's human design into something that's manageable and digestible, and so, I have a fantastic foundation now that I can pick and choose from, in terms of, depending on what it is that I'm going to do, business wise or personally. I have a plethora of resources now, or information, that I can rest. I mean, I can rest in, if that makes sense. I can, yeah. So I feel very seen. I feel very safe and confident in knowing that, oh God, I've got something really good going on here. And so I'm yeah. So anyway, so that's what I would say.
I think, yeah, it's difficult to see, because I suppose say my one reading is an introduction, but in the scheme of things, even though we had the whole time together and all the different sessions, it still to an extent is an introduction. Like, I've been looking at my human design for 4 years, so it depends on what it's relative to, doesn't it? I suppose whether it's still it's still your, like you said, you've got foundations now, you understand the foundations of it and which parts you want to delve into more, which parts are going to impact you in different way. Did you have a favorite bit? Did you have a favorite sort of, I don't know, part or uncovering or anything?
No, before I go there, I want to just add something from the previous one. So I think that, although we say that in the context of the whole human design system, this is an introduction, at the same time, if you are not curious about diving deeper, you have everything you need to move forward. So it's not like you need to take extra action afterwards, after doing this process with you. You can, if you want to, but or one can. But I feel like I've got enough, more than enough, to as I said, a solid foundation. Anyway, so favorite parts. What comes to mind? What the biggest? Because I've dabbled in this before, and there was a lot of information that I can now relate to, which I couldn't 10 years ago.
Right.
But the biggest surprise was when we did the 4 arrows, left, right,
Okay.
arrow,
The variables.
the variables. Thank you. The way that the information you brought to each of the 4 arrows, and how, that was, I have never come across anything like that before. So that was a huge eye opener in terms of, you know, I've got 3 right arrows and 1 left arrow, and so, you know, and then what the 4. I say quadrants because I drew them on a piece of paper, so for me they're 4.
Yeah, we do. We drew it on a bit of paper and just like put it in because it's easier.
But yeah, so that was the biggest surprise, the like a piece that I didn't expect. So that was, yeah, but it's all wonderful. And as I said, you're very good at bringing things together in a very solid, grounded and clear way. So, you know, and I'm saying this, I can be very woo woo and fluffy and you know, spiritual. And I also feel like what I wanted from this was none of that. I wanted a very grounded way to integrate this into my life and into my business. So
Yeah, what I love was when you said you actually kind of now you understand or you feel it now. Like, what does it actually mean for you? Because that's the thing, isn't it? You can learn things like this arrow means this arrow means this, but what does it actually mean for you?
yeah.
And I've loved your light bulb moments as we've gone through this. As when I've said something, it involves swearing, so I'm not going to say it. But when you had your light bulb swearing moments, that made me so happy and smile, because it was almost like you were. It was like that connection piece, and you were really. That were my favorite parts, when you had those little sort of light bulb moments. And yeah, I love that. It made me happy because that's the whole point. It's not just to transfer information, like this is the right arrow, this is the thing, this is the thing. It's like it has to mean something to you. So that's been my favorite part, is watching you kind of putting the pieces together and understanding what it actually means in a real life, tangible thing. Oh, thank you so much. I have loved it. I've loved the whole process. And thank you for agreeing to have a little chat and go out onto the internet for me.
Yes. Happy to, my pleasure. And I really love the process. I can't, I mean, it's yeah, you haven't seen the last of me, let's put it that way. So I'll be back.
Thank you, Maria.